Hi, everybody. I'm Nicole.
I'm Eli.
I'm Jason.
I'm Caden.
And I'm Jaden.
And we are the YHWH and the Torah channel, and we thank you guys very, very much. What day is it today, guys?
Today is
Third day.
Third day, and we didn't do the Torah
It's
calendar
the
again.
25th on the 5th month.
It's the 25th on the 5th month is the actual Father's Creator's calendar. And the Gregorian calendar, what day are we? Monday?
Tuesday.
It's
Tuesday, the 23rd.
I don't even know. I live out in the middle of the jungle. I have no idea what the days are. Okay, thank you guys very, very much. Our little family that's sitting out there, we can't thank you guys enough for spending this little time out there. May Yah bless you, and may He keep you, and may your day be gracious, and may He shine upon you, and may you go out and may you speak to everybody that you know about the gospel and about the Torah. And it is a two-way street, as Revelation 14:12 tells us. The people that are saved are the people that keep the commandments of Yah and the faith of Messiah Yahusha. And for those of you who are new, Messiah Yahushua is what everybody calls Jesus the Christ. There were no J's in Hebrew, and so literally by saying Jesus, you're saying Jesus. It's kind of a play. It's like they've really tricked everybody into the naming thing. And if there were no Y, or if there were no J's in Hebrew, the man could have never been called Jesus. And prior to 1611, right, guys, the year is 1611. We're talking 1,600 years after our Messiah walked on this earth is when they changed this up, right? So Messiah Yahushua is that name, and Acts 4:12 says there's only one name under heaven by which man may be saved, and that is it. Okay, well, thank you guys very much. I'm sorry about the dogs in the background. They are always going to be in the background, and let's do our handy-dandy split screen. There we are. Thank you guys. Maybe one day we'll actually have a real drum roll, but that is a pretty good drum roll, I must admit. And we are Numbers 30, and so we have something exciting for this Shabbat coming up too. For those of you who do keep Shabbat with us, or not keep Shabbat with us, keep Shabbat with Yah. But we have a little sync up, and Nicole has gone over. We got a simplified list of the commandments. So if you guys go to YahuwahAndTheTorah.net right now, you can see at the top there is a simplified list and there's also a full list. So if you're looking for just a real quick, easy read, the simplified list is perfect. It has the command and it has just the verses. It doesn't have the verses listed out. It just has a reference on it. And it's much easier to read, and that's what we will actually read on Shabbat. And it's going to be a wondrous, fantastic day, we hope. And let's get into it. So Numbers 30. Anyone remember what happened on Numbers 29? What are we dealing with here? Where are we at right now?
We said we're doing sacrifices and going over the sacrifices on the feast days.
Right. Okay, anything else? Does anyone have anything? How you guys doing today?
Good. Oh, we're doing good, yeah.
Good. Cade, you're going to be shepherding cows?
Yeah.
You looking forward to that?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. We got bells this time, so
Yeah.
they shouldn't evade you too bad, Jade. You just be doing house
I'm
cleanup.
hanging around the house, helping the dog, cleaning it up.
Eli, your new name is not Eli. I have named you now Eleazar, and Eli is going to do a very important task today because we have a friend. We have some friends, some really old friends. They're like in another town and far away, and she's like, how old is she?
88.
88, and her husband's how old?
90.
90. So they were driving the other day, and he passed out. They have not been snake bitten, but they're really, really old, and they were driving, and he passed out, slumped over the wheel, and she had to jump over into the seat, and I don't know what happened, but they either hit a wall, flipped the car, or something. But she had to go in for hip surgery. She's now in a wheelchair. She's just, it's a mess. It is really a mess. I guess, in the book of Jubilees, it says if you make it to 2 Jubilees in the end times, a man is super lucky because at the end times, nobody will be making it past a Jubilee and a half. And, in the world we're at right now, where everybody has looked Cobra Commander in the eyes, people are dropping at 2 years old. It's really sad what they're doing. So our little buddy Eleazar is going to go over there and he's going to cook for them. And he's going to spend the entire day over there cooking and cleaning, doing whatever else he can do to help them. And they haven't eaten. They haven't eaten in days. They haven't eaten in a very long time. And that's the reason he passed out in the thing. And I would say she's probably maybe 85 pounds. Like literally, she will blow away. And it is so sad to see old age and what it does to people. And they don't have anyone to take care for them. So little Eleazar is going to start investing some of his time over there. And we're going to do whatever we can to help these people out. And they are hardcore Christians. They are not Torah keepers. And I just got done giving Eli a pep talk. And I said, hey, your name is now Eleazar because you got to give these folks last rites. And they're literally so old, they're getting very, very ill very fast. And so it's hard because when we first came down to the country we're at, like 7 or 8 years ago, he was one of the very first guys that we sparred with when it came to Torah. And he's like, oh no, the laws of God are on the cross. And we've known these people, we've loved them for a very long time. They're very, very good people. And they're Christians, right? And it's so sad to see people at the end of their time, and they've never kept the laws of God. The last time we were at their house, they had some pork in the fridge, and I told her, I said, hey, it looks like it went bad. We should probably toss that out. So we tossed out the pork and got that out of there. And so it's one of those things that Eli has a very important job to do. And I don't know how it's going to go down, but his job is important. The dogs are just being very disruptive today. So hopefully we can get through this. All right, guys. So let's begin Numbers 30. And Moshe spoke unto the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Yashrael, saying, This is the thing which YHWH has commanded. If a man vow a vow unto YHWH, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall break his word. He shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeds out of his mouth. Okay, so this is very important. But as we were reading this, I'm sitting here battling the dogs, guys. I'm so sorry. They're being very evil dogs today. This is very important. This is the reason that Eli and I started doing YHWH and the Torah in the morning and doing it consistently. Because prior to this, we had been doing it here and there when we had time. And, time can really slip away from you. And in a busy family like we are at, I mean, we have a very functioning farm that has to be taken care of every single day. So we are this is a solid hour that we take out of our schedule every single day, and there's 5 of us here. So, if you look at it, you're like losing 5 hours from a business standpoint. But for Yah, we're actually gaining 5 hours because we are basically putting this time to the best use that we can do possible. And so these 2 verses right here, I want to reread this, right? If a man vow a vow unto YHWH, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeds out of his mouth. So that's very important. And there's lots of different times where people have kept their oaths and have not kept their oaths. And if you are going to make an oath to our Creator, you'd better keep it, right? You don't commit to something that is not. So this is a command, right? So we have a commandment right here.
I think this would you put it under a new command, or what if you do something? If you
I would put this under this new command. I mean, if you make a vow unto YHWH or swear an oath to bind your soul, like I swear to God, as people will say that all the time, I swear. And, it's like, again, they're probably taking the name in vain because they really don't swear. They're really not making an oath to Yah, but they're saying it so people will believe them. But if we do an oath, we need to do it. So, yeah, this is a new commandment, right? Now let's get into if a woman also vow a vow unto YHWH, and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear her vow and her bond wherewith she has bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she has bound her soul and shall stand. So this is not, guys, if you're binding your soul, this is something huge, right? This is something that if you make a commitment to Yah, if you say you're going to do it, you got to do it. Right? You can't go back. You can't say, no, I didn't take an oath, or I didn't mean it. Because it's real easy to get your way. And say you like Eli and I, when we made our oath, the cows were gone for a very, very long time. Nothing was coming back. We'd lost all of our cows. We'd been out there forever and ever. Nothing. They were all gone. Every last thing that we had was gone. The day and night. And Eli and I prayed, and we made that oath. And it wasn't just a little bit later, we started getting some signs of our cows, and I don't remember which time it was, but Yah fulfills his side of an oath. And if we were to we didn't really, that was just in the moment of things. It's always in the moment of things, right? That's why we make a vow. And if we're going to make a vow, it's like a man. A man stands by his word. Any man that says something and goes the other way, in my eyes, is not a man at all. You're not a man. A man looks a man in the eye, shakes his hand, and he does what he says he's going to do, because that's what manhood is about. That's what Yah's stuff is all about, right? Don't be a liar, right? If you make an oath and you don't keep that oath, you're a liar. Plus, you've gotten what you needed, and you didn't give back the oath. It's a two-way street here. Okay, so what does this say about a woman, though? A child, almost like a child.
I don't know if it's a child. It could be maybe a more grown a woman as well, or something like that. But like when she's in her father's house, if she makes a vow, so it seems like vows were like something you said out in front of people, because if she like did it by herself, her father would never know. So
it's not always something you do. You can take a vow, you can take an oath. It may be public, it may not be public. But I mean, if you say you're going to do something, and she says, "I am going to, forever stay whatever," and her father hears it and goes, "There's no way she could ever do that." He would say, "Don't do that." And he's like, the father can break that oath because sometimes in experience, you say things that you do not mean, especially in tragedy, and you will get yourself in deep. And so this is where having experience and people with that understanding is important. All right, 5. But if her father disallow her in the day that he hears, not any of her vows or of her bonds wherewith she has bound her soul shall stand, and YHWH shall forgive her because her father disallowed her. That's power right there. That is amazing power. That is just an amazing way that Yah works. Okay, and if she had at all a man when she vowed or uttered or aught out of her lips wherewith she bound her soul, and her man heard it, and held his peace at her in the day that he heard it, then her vows shall stand, and her bonds wherewith she bound her soul shall stand.
So this is like only for like a female. I don't think it works for male. If a male makes a thing in his father's house, I don't think it stands for him. No, I don't think.
What do you
I
mean?
think
No,
like,
yeah,
if
this
he
is
says
this is a female, which it goes into the discussion of why are there different rules for females versus males.
I'm not exactly sure. Probably vowed to stay single or something.
Well, what I would say one of the reasons is because when the woman sinned to begin with, and a lot of people will go, well, the man didn't sin; it was the woman. It's two-way street. They both did it. They both transgressed it, right? But if a woman's part of her curse was that she must cleave her, she desires her man, and her man will rule over her, right? That's part of of being a female in Yah's world, is that your man will stand over you. And if your woman's out there for whatever reason, let's just say the woman is cycling, right? She's going through a cycle and she's not all there. She's not thinking correctly, right? And I'm not attacking any women. I'm just saying that sometimes during cycles, women don't exactly think the same way they would normally think, and they get cranky, they grouchy. That's what the cycle's all about. And she says something, and her man's like, "Whoa, that cannot be. You are not going to be able to do that forever," right? And so her man can break that oath, which is better, because if you have this oath and you're unable to do it, then it sounds like your soul is bound. It sounds like a very bad thing. All right.
Mine says a rash utterance, like if she does it in a rash utterance.
Right,
so.
right, yeah. And that most of the time, the only time I've found women are illogical at some degree is during cycle times, and it's a brief moment in time, right? It's a brief moment in time, and I'm not saying that men don't think illogically, because absolutely men think illogically. If you look at how men end up dead, you can see a guy will try anything. Oh, that looks like a good idea. Bad idea. All right. But if her man disallowed her on the day, did I do that one? 8? All right.
So.
But if her man disallowed her on the day that he heard it, then he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that she uttered with her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, of no effect, and YHWH shall forgive her. And again, that's huge. But every vow of a widow and of her that is divorced, wherewith they have bound their souls, shall stand against her. Okay, well, there's something huge right there, right? So if a woman is a widow, or what? Or divorced. Okay, so if those two people, if you are
she's basically on her own at that point.
Yeah, you're on your own, right? And that, if you're a widow, you have a tremendous amount of, I would say for a lot of widows, you would have a lot of experience with life and things of that nature. Hopefully, you would have time, before you became a widow. But those are interesting. Those are some things we should take note of and understand the heart, mind, and soul of our Creator. All right, 10. And if she vowed, oh wait, did I do 9?
No. Yeah, you did.
Okay, yep. And if she vowed in her man's house, or bound her soul by a bond with an oath, and her man heard it, and held his peace at her, and disallowed her not, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. And the man is responsible as well. If he hears this, and it's an illogical thing that it could not be done or couldn't be kept, then you've doomed your whole house if you've didn't had her go at it. All right. But if her man has utterly made them void on the day he heard them, then whatsoever proceeded out of her lips concerning her vows or concerning the bond of her soul shall not stand. Her man has made them void. and Yahuwah shall forgive her. That is amazing. I just find that this whole chapter amazing. Every vow and every binding oath to afflict the soul, her man may establish it, or her man may make it void. Okay, so that's interesting as well, right? Jade, what do you see on this? Is everyone paying attention?
Yeah, I'm paying attention.
Anyone have anything?
Basically, a husband has a choice to say yes or
Said
no
to
to a vow.
afflict her soul, like afflict her being. So
Yeah,
like a fast, she like was on like a 40-day fast.
Yeah,
or something.
I'm gonna fast in the name of Yah for 50 days. You're like, baby, that's a bad idea.
You're like 95 pounds, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, you're gonna die. You haven't eaten already for 4 days. That's gonna be like 55 days. You're not gonna make this, right? So something of that nature. 14. But if her man altogether hold his peace at her from day to day, then he establishes all her vows or all her bonds, which are upon her. He confirms them, because he held his peace at her in the day that he heard them. Okay, so a man has a tremendous amount of responsibility in keeping the house together. 15. But if he shall any ways make them void after that he has heard them, then he shall bear her iniquity. Yes, he is going to be responsible. Yeah, your house falling on your head is going to be your own gig. These are the statutes which Yahuwah commanded Moshe, between a man and his woman, between the father and his daughter, being yet in her youth in her father's house. All right, how many commands do we have here, guys?
Three, I think.
I think this whole chapter.
I feel like
I think like it's like. In
I feel like this-
sections, I think there's three.
It's all the command is.
I feel like it's the Torah of the vows.
Yeah, this could be the Torah of the vows. What does it say? Yeah, it does say vows. So it says vows on that. Yeah, this is like a Torah of. This could be the Torah of the vows, Torah of your oath, or Torah of an oath to Yah. That's what it'd be. The Torah of the oath to Yah, and literally everything under this would go into that, and so. That's something big to consider, gentlemen. It's something big in our times of distress. It's amazing that we can call upon Yah, and it's amazing that Yah will. You want to get into a bond with Yah, He'll do it.
But make sure you're like not even out of ration. Make sure you're thinking it through before you make an oath that you can't keep.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Don't make an oath you cannot keep. You know, that's a disaster. It looks like a disaster, right? Your soul is. You've bound your soul, and I mean, what else? I mean, you're taking out a loan, right? You're taking out a loan against something, and it's against your soul. And your soul, I mean, essentially, that's what it is. Yah says, "Hey, I love you. Here's your soul. You need something. Here, if you want to take this oath, you fulfill yours. I'll fulfill mine." And the crazy thing is that Yah usually completes this stuff like super fast. And our oaths, we got to get down with it, right? We got to get jiggy with it. We can't, kick it to the curb. It's not something that you can just do and kick off. It's not, when you say, "I swear to God," if somebody out there says, "I swear to God," that is a bad deal right there, right? I mean, if Yah actually took people at their word at that point, which, just saying the word God, I mean, that's pagan. But, I mean, that's how everybody uses it. That's how everybody swears to, if somebody thinks you're lying, you go, "I swear to God," or in the court system, you put your hand on the Bible. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Which God? Who's God? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? But yeah, you got to put yourself into an oath like that, right?
Right. And so basically, what happens here if you don't keep your oath?
I would say bad things are going to happen, right? Whatever good thing happened to you that happened, right? The cows came home, right? Had Eli and I not kept our oath, if all the cows got totally annihilated, that after we did that and we did not keep our oath, and they could still get annihilated, right? That was a one-time thing. Eli and I knew it was a one-time thing. This is not an oath for protection of our cows at all times. And if all of our cow herd is completely wiped out, then our oath is not good. We told Yah, we asked Yah, "Please, Yah, give us some leads, help us out, whatever you could do for us to help us find the cows." We've just been days and days looking for these things, and I think you guys were out in the rain that day looking for them. It was just 2 days of rain, and you guys were just destroyed. It was a very stressful day. But had we and Yah brought them all back, right? He brought them all back. We still had a cow die, but I mean, it was different circumstances. He did what he said he was going to do, and we are doing what we need to do. And it's so far we've done it. So far we have not missed a day, and we've had it released before noon every time. And so Yah fulfilled his oath or his help to us, and we are fulfilling our oath. All right, gentlemen, do you guys have anything else?
Tonight is Youth for Y'all in Spanish, so if you have any Spanish friends, send them our way.
Yep, Youth for Y'all in Spanish. It's not real popular right now, and actually nothing on our channel is real popular, but it's as popular as we want to be because we are the small ecclesia. We're just a meeting point that we are. We're not teachers. We're not anything. We're just a bunch of people that are sitting out in the middle of a jungle reading the book, reading it with you guys, and we encourage you guys to read this yourselves, right? If you are listening to this at all and this has piqued your interest in the Torah, then I could suggest read on. Find another set of scriptures. Don't let us be your leaders to a world that you need to pick up your own Bibles and read, because that's the only way that you're going to find this. And you could you could literally, the Bible is the greatest set of stories ever. From the front of the book to the end of the book, you can always find something interesting to read, and you will get something out of it every time you guys read it. And so that's what our hope is. All right, gentlemen, anything else?
No, have a great day and read your Bibles.
Yeah, have a great day. Read your Bibles. Much love to everybody out there. Shalom and huge hugs.
All right, shalom.
Shalom.